To me, whether you're a dom or a sub, just getting started in this community, I think the number one thing that you should learn is how to identify what a good dom is. For doms, so you can, try to emulate them, try to be as good of a dom as you can be, because you are in a position where you need to be one of the good ones. You need to be somebody who gives the rest of us a good name, because there's a lot of us out there that are not doing that. And as a sub, you should know what a good dom is first before anything, so that you can identify them and vet them correctly. To me, it's the number one thing you should learn, absolutely before anything else. Learn how to identify what a good dom is and what kind of traits and things that they do in order to identify themselves as a good dom. One of the first things that you can notice, and this is kind of like your litmus test, like you can pretty much tell whether or not they're a good dom straight from the jump, because if they don't do this, they're not somebody that you should even begin a dialogue with, a conversation, getting to know them. And that is whether or not they try to get to know you first and foremost. I touched on it in one of my other videos, but they should absolutely try to figure out who you are as a person first. They're asking questions about you, about your life. They're trying to get to know who you are as a person before anything. They're not immediately trying to make you their sub. This is a person who has shown a modicum of care for you and respects you enough to try to figure out how you work as a person before anything. They're going to ask you what you like in your life, what you dislike, and none of these things are going to be sexual in nature when they're first talking to you. They want to know what your favorite color is. They want to know what your favorite spot is to go get coffee at, when you have a little bit of time to yourself. Do you write? Do you make art? They want to know things about you as a person. They want to get to know you, because in order to truly be a good dom, in order to be somebody who can take care of you to that extent, they need to know how you are. They need to know the other things about you before anything comes up where they're like, okay, here's the rules that you have to follow. Here's what I expect of you as a sub. None of that matters until they know who you are as a person. That's the number one thing. A good dom is going to try to get to know you. They're personable. They care about you enough to show interest in your life. That's the big one. That's the number one thing. The next one, a good dom has a sense of humor. They are able to laugh at themselves. They are able to laugh at the things that happen in your relationship that may be a little awkward or a little weird, because in any relationship, things like that happen. They know how to handle situations with grace and with a little bit of humor. Humor is so important in our relationships because it marks how we interact with people. It shows our social awareness. Um, a dom with a good sense of humor is going to make you feel comfortable, because they don't want you to get hung up on the awkward, weird things that we do. Because to me, the best parts of humor are when we're able to look at weird or awkward situations and make light of it. We're able to make a joke about the general weirdness that happens in our day-to-day lives and our relationships. Because if we can't make light of it, we overthink about it. We worry about it. It becomes something that we hyperfixate on instead of just something that we can laugh off and move on to the next. If you unfortunately happen to, I don't know, let air out of a certain orifice during a specific thing, your dom should absolutely be able to make light of that situation and joke around about it. You should absolutely be able to have a sense of humor about these types of things. A dom with a good sense of humor is going to be somebody that tries to make you feel comfortable in all situations, because they want to make you laugh. They want to keep things light. They want to make sure that you feel safe enough to do so, because laughing is a marker for us. It's a marker for us socially to be able to say, like, oh, this isn't that serious. Oh, this isn't that bad. This isn't something that I need to like feel bad about or worry about. We can just joke about this. We can laugh about it. A sense of humor is so important in a good dom. one that can make you laugh and that can, most importantly, laugh at themselves, because it is very important that a good Dom is able to laugh at themselves, because there will be times where we are wrong. There will be times where you give us an attitude, or there will be times where um, something awkward just happens and we need to make light of the situation instead of making it, no, you need to take me seriously. You need to respect me. To me, the most respectable people are people who are able to gracefully pass through their awkward situations, or the times where, somebody is not listening to them, doing what they're telling them to do. Being able to operate in those situations with a sense of humor and make light of it, and then still get what you're trying to get in the end, that is the marker of a very good Dom. A sense of humor is so important. Another thing that you should look for is their overall demeanor. How are they as a person? When they speak to you, when they interact with others, their demeanor is a very good indicator of how they're going to be in one of these kinds of relationships. Do they react to every little thing that comes up? And if they do react, are they reacting from a place of anger and, being frustrated? It's totally normal for us to get angry and frustrated sometimes. As a Dom myself, I get angry and frustrated all the time. The difference is, are you reacting from a place with that anger in mind? Are you reacting to your situation, showing everybody that anger, or making your anger their problem? Because there are times where I'm able to feel my anger and my frustration, where I'm able to feel my anxiety or my doubt, but I don't need to react in a way that shows that to everybody around me. I don't need to react in a way that only makes other people feel what I'm feeling more. I can acknowledge how I feel and even verbalize it to those around me, but I don't need to make you angry too. I don't need to make you feel anxious because I feel anxious. Your demeanor and the way that you go about how you react to situations is very important, and it's a very easy way to tell who will be a good Dom and who will not be. Our demeanor shapes people's perception of us, how they look at us, how they imagine that we will react to certain situations. You can be one of those golden retriever Doms that's like, happy and lighthearted and jumping all over the place and hyper. That's still a good demeanor to have. You can still be calm and make people around you feel safe with that sort of demeanor. You don't have to be more reserved, kind of like I am. I'm definitely more of a reserved person. You don't have to be introverted and in your shell to be seen as somebody who has a good, calm, non-reactive demeanor. You can still be yourself. But it's very important that you're able to look at somebody and see their demeanor, how they are, what's going on in their head, how they react to situations, and say, they would stay calm. They would know how to handle this situation. And that leads into the next one that I won't talk about too much because it just kind of explains itself. A good Dom needs to have confidence. You have to have confidence in your life. Confidence is knowing that you're not sure about anything. It's not being sure of yourself. It's knowing that you can be unsure about something and that you'll be okay getting through it. It's the confidence in yourself to meet situations that you don't know what's going to happen, and still knowing that you will handle it, that you will be able to get through it. That trait in a Dom is so important to have. Confidence. You have to have confidence in yourself. The last one that I'll say, which I think is just as important, how do they interact with you? How do they speak with you? Are you given eye contact? Are you given their attention? Are they speaking to you with a loving, calm tone? How they interact with you, how they speak with you says a lot about who they are as a person, and especially about how they'll be in this type of relationship. Because how we speak to people, how we communicate with them says a lot about who we are. When they're interacting with you, are they nodding? Are they listening to you? Are they actually taking in what you are saying? Are they looking to understand you, or are they just listening to you talk, waiting for you to finish? There's very big differences between the two. And if you pay attention, you can really tell what it is that they're doing. Do they ask about your day? Do they ask you questions about how you're feeling? Do they ask you your opinion on things that they might have come up with or plans that they may have? Are they trying to gather information from you? Because the more information that they try to gather from you, the more that they show that they care what you had to say. When speaking with you, are they paying attention to you? Are they trying to gather that information from you in order to understand you better? Or are they just listening performatively? Are they just listening in a way that says, oh yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying, but then I'm just going to forget about it and go work on whatever it is that I was thinking of working on, because I actually don't care. I just want to think of myself as somebody who is a good listener. There's a very big difference between the two, and a good dom is the one who actually wants to understand you and who listens to you, not performatively, but with the idea in their head that they want you to feel included in their life. Those are some of the key points that I can think of when it comes to identifying what a good dom is. If there's any other one that you can think of, please let me know in the comments, because I'm sure that there's things that I missed or things that I just personally haven't thought of. For those of you who have watched all of these videos the whole way through, all 5 of them, I really appreciate you. Like, I wanted to post 5 videos at once, give you guys the content to watch, and then just, figure out a schedule for me to start posting more of these consistently. And I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to not recording and posting 5 all at once again. But if there is anything else that you want me to talk about, if there's any other stuff that you might have an idea for a video, please let me know, because I already have a bunch of ideas in mind, but I build all of my social media, I build all of my content with my ring light went out. I'm not editing that out. I build all of my content with the idea that I am listening to you all, because I have to practice what I preach. I want to listen to you. I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to understand all of you. And I get a lot of DMs all the time from people. I don't reply to any of them out of respect to my relationship and out of respect to my time, but just know that I read most of them. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And if you have ideas for any videos in the future, please let me know, because I do plan on posting here more consistently, and I do plan on keeping this a place where I can rant about topics for you guys for whatever you want to hear about. Thank all of you so much for watching. There will be more videos in the future. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Bye.